Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Armory. Welcome to All 5 Tier Podcast. Welcome to X. Welcome to my last transfer show of the summer window. Yay! I'm going to have a party. I'm sure other people won't, but I will be having a party. How you doing, G?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I realised that because I never made Tuesday's show. It's the first time I've actually been on since obviously the Eze news. And then obviously with the Hincapie, I don't know if I'm completely butchering the name, but obviously we should get the kind of here we go or the done deal. Maybe even while we're on the air.
Yeah,
Um,
who knows?
but
Yeah,
I'm kind of like you, in a little bit. It's like I've thoroughly enjoyed the transfer window,
yeah,
and I have this sneaky feeling that I'm gonna enjoy it a little bit more between now and Monday. At the same time, I'm so kind of content and happy with the business that we've done that I'm k- I'm kind of looking forward to it being over and just getting stuck into the football and the fixtures.
yeah,
So yeah, man, I'm happy,
yeah,
man. I'm good.
yeah. I'll be looking forward just to talk about football. Nothing
Yeah,
else. Just
yeah. I
relax.
don't I don't have this like I don't have this overwhelming feeling of like kind of regret or we haven't done enough or we didn't do enough that I usually
Yeah.
go into the season feeling. Like don't get
Mm.
me wrong, I know I probably in an ideal world we're probably maybe a left winger away from the perfect window. And I literally mean that, the perfect window. I generally think after Kivior goes and Hincapie comes in, for me personally, I know you're a little bit more, picky in terms of
Miserable.
outgoings, but in
Yeah.
in terms of incomings, outside of a left wing, I think for me it's been pitch perfect. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to just getting stuck in and actually watching some football with this squad of players.
Yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, I only rate it exactly how it is.
Hmm.
Exactly, not what could happen in an hour. It's
Yeah.
exactly how it is. So how it is, I'm not happy still. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Hmm.
But there is a lot of things going behind the scenes that could make me happy. I
Nice.
still don't rule out a 10 if all the dominoes fall in the right way.
Hmm.
Dominoes are falling, which are brilliant. At least they're not still standing up, but they are
Hmm.
falling. But we need them to fall in the right way,
Hmm.
and that can't be ruled out just yet. I probably would probably start panicking like Monday morning if certain things haven't happened,
Hmm.
because I know a lot of things do happen on the transfer deadline day, but normally we know the night before what
Yeah.
probably will happen because there's a lot of logistics need to be planned as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, big up to Richie saying GG. How you doing,
That's
bro?
one.
Big up to Angie. Oh, I think Angie was the first person in today. Big up to Angie. Hope Zinni just cuts, man. Well, Zinni is definitely talking to someone. They can afford him. He would have to take a page cut. But
Hmm.
this is the thing. This is the important thing. This is where Zinni can get out of the bad books with me and get in the good books
Hmm.
by accepting a pay cut
Hmm.
and buggering off and not be a cheerleader.
Is that
Um,
is that specifically Marseille, or is he talking to other clubs as well?
there are a couple of others, but Marseille currently are the
Mm.
front runners.
Yeah.
There's I wouldn't say it's panic buying right now,
Hmm.
but there's a
It
lot
feels
of
like that
clubs.
though.
It does, but
Like
unfortunately,
today's just been nuts
yeah,
in
well,
terms of like play it like for us. I mean, it was like Kivior, then it was like Vieira was back on track, and then
yeah.
obviously the Marseille links with Zini. It does feel like everything's just kind of cranked up a gear today for sure.
I think what it is mainly is the dominoes. The dominoes. Look, I can talk about one transfer, right? So let's say talk about Simmons. Now, the
Mm.
domino did not fall in the right way for Chelsea. Hence, why
Yeah.
Tottenham now got him, because Nkunku was meant to go over to Germany, which would
Hmm.
be basically a swap, but not a swap because
Yeah.
to cover PSR it wouldn't have been a swap. But anyway, because that didn't go through, obviously he went to AC Milan. And obviously Simmons wasn't going to go to Chelsea because Leipzig were going, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it's a case of he now goes to Tottenham. He's now done. It's just one of those. And uh, there's
Yeah.
still
With
big transfers that will happen.
with
Big
I mean,
ones.
with the Zinni one, I mean, obviously, Ornstein put out, obviously talking to Marseille. I think he said what most of us already know is that whoever we do sell him to, it is likely that the wage is going to be an issue. I know there's something that's interesting though as well, because Marseille have also moved for Emerson's left back. I'm sorry, West Ham's left back, Emerson.
Yeah,
So the interesting thing here is that, because I know you said to us, and I posted out quite a while ago, that West Ham were also a club that was interested
yeah,
in Zinni. So I mean, kind of question is really two questions. Really, is that if Marseille do sign Emerson, could they still potentially buy Zinni for a midfielder position? Or if Marseille do actually get Emerson, does that open the door for a move from West Ham for Zinni?
exactly. Well, these are dominoes I'm on about. We need the dominoes
Okay,
to fall in the correct way. So
okay,
dominoes will fall, but sometimes won't fall in the right way. We need them to fall in the correct way. So yeah, Zinni, I'll be a little bit shocked if he's still here Tuesday, because look,
it's a very very high chance he leaves.
yeah, at the end of the day, someone mentioned something that was said today.
Mm,
They had a chat with Richard Garlick, and Richard said something about the dressing room. I'll be honest, there is no truth behind that whatsoever. The harmony in the
mm.
transfer dressing room is beautiful. It's everyone gets on. There is no friction. There is no heated. I don't know what the words were used, but what was the word that was used that was mentioned
It
to
was
me?
hostile.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Um, the only thing I will say is when it was initially put out, I did
Mm,
comment on it. And I just said, look, I think I commented on a couple of things, and I said, you know what, Bert is phenomenal. Blah blah blah. I said because it wasn't just about the dressing room; it was about a couple of other things.
yeah.
And then one of the things I said was, I just can't envision that being the case.
Mm.
But then the gentleman who did put it out, he did actually put out a further post,
Oh, okay.
giving some context, saying that in hostile they mean like there is a culture of like, striving for their best and not being content that we haven't won silverware and pushing each other and stuff like that. So I think he did add a, but yeah, the word hostile for me, I mean,
No.
when you use
Yeah.
that word hostile, you just immediately think like unfriendly,
Yeah.
there's no harmony. So yeah, I think he definitely did put out a little bit more context um once people reacted to the post as
Well,
obviously they
yes.
would, you know.
Yes. I won't comment any further on what he did that then. Okay. But there we go. Because hostile for anybody, look, I'm ex-military, so obviously hostile for me automatically uh,
Yeah, 100%.
goes to that side of it. But others may take it slightly differently. But I'll be honest, I won't meet many of those people. But it is what it is. But no, everyone gets on very well at Arsenal, which is lovely to see. Even the people that aren't going to be at the club get on very well.
Yeah,
This is like I know that some people love Zinni, and I get it, but for me, from a business point of view, he needs to go,
yeah,
and that's how I have to look at it. Great show. Feel something big is coming. So big up to Ian. But they are after Emerson. Won't that stop Zinni transfer? I think we've covered that, Kennedy.
yeah.
That will help. Hopefully, the dominoes knock elsewhere for us. I hear we are in for Nigerian attacker. Is that Lookman? Well, we're after a few attackers, if I'm honest. I think there's a couple that's Nigerian as well. Lookman is someone that we've looked at. Look, Berta is keeping his powder dry for the next, I'd say, 48 hours. He's got a rough idea what he wants to try and do. We do need some dominoes to fall in our favour. I do think that will happen. Everyone's very confident that it will happen, which is great. And I've always said that the position that I feel that we were going to get, which is left wing, would go all the way to the end. And I'm afraid
Mm.
that's exactly how it's gone. I was hoping, obviously, it would be earlier because it just helps us relax.
It just makes it
But
easier.
at the end of the day, there's massive transfers that are still to happen as well. Gay's definitely not staying at Palace, in my opinion.
Mm.
Isaac, definitely a situation to keep an eye on. There's a lot still to happen. So yeah, just enjoy. But as I said in the thumbnail, just try and be patient, be calm, because it is going to get stressful. Marcel close to Emerson from West Ham, doesn't it? I've covered that as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Voltemada going to Newcastle, obviously Stuttgart have got some more money now. The price hasn't changed, but there's a different way that they can do the fee, which will suit us better. So there will be a slight sell-on clause, which will help us, because I don't think Fabio will be at Stuttgart for very long, personally, because I think he'll have at least one very good season, maybe two, and then he'll be sold again, because he is a quality player,
Good player,
just
yeah.
not for the Prem.
Would you say that deal's pretty advanced then between?
Yeah, I'd say that will probably happen over the weekend. Personally, I
Okay.
don't see that being any longer. No, we don't have to sell Zinni for Hincapie. It's literally Kivy or out, Hincapie in. It's literally that. Hincapie is a great signing, more than just a centre back. He's also very, very competent left back, where I could actually say, you know what, after the window's closed, I'm a 10. But I still need to see some more people leave and a couple more come in personally. That's just me, not everybody. I'm very picky. Big up to Ange, big up to Dymo, who is the most likely left winger to come in. We'll cover that because we need to have a little bit of a discussion about that. Hi, Bobby. Are Arsenal going to make an outrageous hijack for Isaac? Not in my opinion now. I think it's too late for us. I think Liverpool definitely have built their bid. And we'll have to see what happens over the next 24 to 48 hours. I don't think they will make it last any longer. It's going to be interesting. But obviously, Voltemade, the price they've paid, you cannot say he's a number 2 to Isaac. You can't get away with that. No one's going to believe it. We all know what he's done. Yeah, and how tall he is as well. Come on, people, put 2 and 2 together, and you'll come up with the
he's a prime centre forward signing, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you're gonna spend that kind of money, it's just like when when we signed Gyökeres and people said to me, Arteta's gonna have him sitting on the bench every single week, and I said, look, he's not. Like, you don't spend, like, don't get me wrong, there'll probably be rotation and there'll probably be a period of bedding him in. I think obviously Kai's injuries kind of changed that, but you don't go out and spend like 50 plus million on a centre forward at any club to just have that player sit on the bench week in, week out. So as soon as I saw the Newcastle, here we go for that geezer, I'm not even going to try and say his name. As soon as I saw the here we go, I immediately said, yeah, Isak's gone.
Yeah.
Like, because they've got him over the line. They probably will still get Visser from Brentford, because I see Brentford making moves. And then what they'll do is they'll accept a fee that covers both those 2 signings.
Yeah.
And then essentially they've not really spent anything.
Yeah, exactly. Big up to Neil. Watkins has never not been on our incoming list. Just saying, he's been there since January. Just watch Villa. Just keep an eye on Villa.
Watkins still very possible.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Never wasn't possible.
I mean, what I've noticed is Villa signing some forwards.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
they've signed Gizand during the window. Yeah. I first thought he was a 10 and a winger, but when I looked at his
he's a striker.
When I looked at his profile on Transfer Market, he's predominantly a centre forward. He can play. He can play wide, but he's predominantly a centre forward. They're after this other. Oh God, I think he's from Georgia. He's Georgian. Yeah. They're after him, and they're still trying to sign Asensio as well from Madrid. So yeah, I mean, it's starting to look like Watkins will probably be going down the pecking order a little bit, or not even going down the pecking order, but it seems to me that they're probably building life without Watkins. That's what it looks like.
Well, like I said, I've always said he will be a final 48-hour storyline. We're not in the final 48 hours yet. So,
just a quick one though: is there a danger that another club might trump us to his signature?
Yeah,
like a United might go in for him. You know, you've got, I mean, even a Newcastle. I mean, if they can't get Visser, I mean, what would stop them, putting in a sneaky bid for Watkins?
We won't cry over it.
Okay.
Because Watkins is not the only striker we're looking at. Boom.
Interesting.
Mic drop.
Interesting. That's why I'm asking you questions, Bobby.
No, he's not the only striker we're looking at. There's another one, a younger profile, which I'll be honest. If I was to have to choose, I'd go with the younger profile anyway. Watkins, I'd love. Don't get me wrong, because he's versatile as well.
Yeah.
And this young profile, he's more of just a striker. There is nothing really more about him. He can drop back and play like a false nine, but he's predominantly a nine. But he was someone I mentioned last summer. He made a big move last summer. So yeah, he's someone that keep an eye on. He's got my questions. I haven't seen Tamina yet. I'm sure Tamina's in there somewhere.
Oh, Tamina's there.
She is there. Okay. I was just say, because by the time I've probably got to Tamina's this time, I've probably answered all the questions. Jonathan, evening, Bobby, GE, and everyone in the chat. How are things looking up until the deadline day? I'm perfectly relaxed. I'll be honest. Do I do it? All I will say about Elise is, for people that were in the WhatsApp groups many months ago, I was comparing our strike force with who? Our potential strike force. Who was the team that I kept comparing it to? It was Eze, Saha, and Elise.
Okay.
There was always reason behind my madness. Always. I always give people breadcrumbs many times.
So Elise is a possibility, probably.
Yeah, of course he is. Why would he not be? Why would he not be? The thing is, why would he not be a possibility?
The thing with the Elise thing, because I mean, this kind of sparked a little bit of a debate in the Discord, was just that he's primarily a right winger. Most of us have only really seen him play on the right for Palace. We see him obviously, smashing up the Bundesliga on the right as well. Whereas when we look at our current squad, we feel like obviously the left is the one that needs, the the facelift, should I say? So that's where some kind of reservations came in. Another reservation was maybe Bayern's reluctance to let him go. I mean, they've only just bought him. This is only his second season. He had an absolute amazing first season. Like, why would they then sell him? And if they were to sell him, why would they sell him now with only like a couple of days left? So there were some reservations in the Discord over Elise.
Oh, okay. I get that. But look, Bayern Munich have had what I can only describe as the worst window I've ever seen them having. So yeah, at least is a possibility. I'm not saying it's a high possibility, but I never rule him out. I haven't ruled him out the whole summer, to be honest, because Munich, you've just got to look at Munich's window. That it's been awful, and there is reasons behind it. You just need to dig a little bit deeper, and you'll find the reasons. So yeah, I haven't seen Tamina yet, but I'm sure she's here somewhere. Do you expect that Vieira, Zinni, and Nelson leave? Nelson 100%, Vieira 100%, Zinni. I'm on like 90% that he'll go.
Hopefully he goes. Jeez.
Big up to Two Backer saying hello everyone. Berta is a better signing than any player that we brought in. Totally agree. Big up to Jatin. Good evening, Bobby. Hope you and everyone in the chat is doing well. Hope for some juicy insight today. It's percentage time again on Tuesday. He doesn't look a trick, does he?
Yeah, that's just Rodrigo update. Like, is that dead now?
In my opinion, right now it's dead.
Okay.
However, we haven't stopped talking to him, which I'll be honest, I don't understand why, unless there's a conversation with them about something else that I don't know about. But as far as I'm concerned, Rodrigo it's not really just Rodrigo. There's a little bit of doubt on the Arsenal side as well with Rodrigo's mentality. Now, the reason we know this is there is a couple of players in the Real Madrid squad that speak to a couple of our players, and we've had the feedback from it. And we're like, this is a bit unusual. So our doubt is with him as well, because he would be a huge spend salary-wise.
100%.
And you have to be 100% confident that this transfer is worth it. And for that amount of money, not just like the fee, but his wage,
is
it a risk? And I've always said to you, G, Rodrigo's never gone, oh, wow. Mate, I've never been that bothered by him. If someone said again, let's just pick a left winger randomly, which is Semenyo. If someone was a Semenyo or Rodrigo, I'm sorry, but I'm picking Semenyo.
Yeah.
That's just me. I know it sounds weird because he plays for Bournemouth and Rodrigo plays for Real Madrid. But Semenyo, I've seen him in the Premier League. I know what he can do. And I always do it as a right back because that was what my position was. I wouldn't want to play against Semenyo. I think I could work out Rodrigo pretty easily. But Semenyo, yeah, I wouldn't fancy it personally. It's because he's physically strong as well, and I like him. So that's I'm not that bothered, if I'm honest. Any greens you're able to share for us both. Currently, we've still got 2 in the green. Whether or not we trigger that other green, I don't know. But this is the game that Berta likes to play. I've said it all summer. This window is going to stress you all out because Berta likes to spin multiple plates, which he's doing now. He's speaking to multiple forwards, not just one that is clear favourite. The one that we've got locked in now, I couldn't guarantee we'll trigger him because he's speaking to others. We're allowed to do that. It's until we've signed them, literally gone right. Done. We can speak to whoever we want. So yeah, you mentioned on Tuesday that you may give a 10 out of our window, currently 6. However, is the 10 contingent on Jesus? No, I'm not that bothered by Jesus. I'll be honest, because I honestly think that would be the hardest transfer to get out. Mainly because of match fitness. I don't see how anyone can get Zinni out this window. I still don't rule it out. Weirdly. I don't know why. There are people talking to him and his party. I don't understand it personally, but the one person I do want out is Zinni. So I will not give it a 10 if we've still got Zinni, I'll be honest, because his wage and him just being a cheerleader, that annoys me. But that's for me from a business point of view. Someone to check on Tamina, but here is Tamina. How are you doing? I'm all good. How many Arsenal players getting players before the? Oh, geez, minimum 1. I'm going to go to maximum 3. I don't see 4. I wouldn't be that bothered if we don't get 4, but I can see possibly 3, and that will be a wide player and some kind of other forward. There is obviously some strange things happening as well. There's players that we never thought were available are now available, and not just on a full transfer, it's just a loan. So you never know that Arsenal might just go, you know what, that's worth a punt. So yeah, who knows? Berta's a madman.
Could you say right now, as things stands, who would be the favourite left wing signing, or the favourite player that we would move for at this present moment in time, out of all of them?
Out the ones we're talking to right
now.
So
out the ones we're talking to, if you were a betting man, who would you say that we'd be most likely to make a move on?
Oh, jeez. Can I say it? That's the thing.
I think the feeling amongst the fans is it's Semenyo.
Okay.
That's what a lot of the fans are getting the vibe from, obviously multiple sources and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm really, I mean, I kind of, not much of a party people, but in the Discord, I think it was yesterday or today, I just said, like, look, let's just measure our expectations a little bit, like, because obviously, you know what it's like, last 48, 72 hours of the window, everybody's getting really, really, really excited. And I think they should be excited, but also, I don't want people to lose perspective of what we have done already. You know, if the next 2-3 days don't go as planned, I don't think it's a doom and gloom like situation. I think we've done amazing work, but everybody is desperate to know about the left winger, and everybody's desperate for Berta to pull one more out the hat and that be a left winger. And I mean, based on percentages, it seems like Rodrigo's kind of slipped down. So who's kind of slipped up to the upper end of the percentages?
I think what the best way I can do it, and the safest way I can do it without getting myself into trouble, is to say that the one we're most likely to get has got Premier League experience.
Okay.
So look,
Yeah. Enough
or
said.
he could be here, and that's all I need to say. I think that's the safest way I can put it. So yeah, Samuel Klonga, I don't see him staying. There's a lot of clubs interested. Still don't rule out Forest. Forest might dip into that as well because they're looking at a few options as well. Zinni leaving, I definitely hope so. Trossard, I'm glad someone's mentioned him because so far no one has. So me and Jim were having a quick convo before we went on air. I know that a lot of people have been talking about Trossard. Trossard is not on any injured list. Now I have 2 official ones, and he is not on any of them, and that includes doubts. So does that mean he's possibly going to be leaving? Possible. I've always said Trossard could possibly leave. I still think Inter Milan might come in for him, but then I don't rule out Premier League because there's so many moving targets at the moment in Premier League. He could be on the merry-go-round for that as well. So whatever Arteta said, that's up to him. That's his decision. I think it's also something maybe Andrea has asked him to do just to help with the business chatter. So yeah, Fabio Vieira definitely will leave. Nelson definitely will leave. He will be going to Crystal Palace now. I don't see any other option. Martinelli is definitely one to watch out for because he could still leave. I kind of expect I think with a lot of the transfers out now, especially with the 72 hours left, please do temper your expectations on the prices because
100%.
what will most likely happen now, and this is what will happen for most transfers, apart from big ones that have already been planned throughout the summer anyway, there will be loans with options or obligations. And it's not going to hurt Arsenal at all. As long as majority or all of the salary is covered, that's all that matters to us because it's salaries. That's the main thing we need out the door is salaries. Any left wing, I've always been confident we will, and I'm still am confident. My only confidence will drop Monday morning because I when it gets to Monday morning and nothing really is getting closer, that's when I start panicking because I know what the final few hours are like. They are mad, not just with us, every single club, and that is how things can fall apart very quickly is when every club is doing business at the same time. Look, at the moment, a lot are, but Monday, everybody will be doing business, and it is crazy because agents aren't able to answer your phone, aren't able to do this, aren't able to do that. Logistics of flights or however people get from A to B, sometimes helicopters, weirdly. It's logistically a nightmare. So, yeah, I hope I've covered that. We'll talk about Havertz tomorrow, by the way, but obviously I think we all kind of know. I do actually have a date now because obviously I did say at the time when I first got it back, it was only for a few weeks because they were hoping, but unfortunately it didn't go that way. So he is having surgery. I think he's already had it actually. But yeah, we have got a date. It's meh. Big up to Connor. Any update in regards to Norgard's injury? Norgard, again, I'll talk about this tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's not a long term. It's just a knock, as far as I know. It's one of those annoying knocks where it just takes ages to come back. Let's see if I've got a date on him. Norgard. Yeah, he should be back beginning of September. So, yeah, it's just one of those annoying knocks. Same as White, he should be back beginning of September. So the international break is that right? International break after this weekend. Should help us lovely in personally. Is Rodrigo? Yeah, well, I wouldn't say dead in the water. I think you can bring him back to life, but it's very unlikely at the moment. I think Real Madrid and probably Rodrigo would have to lower their demands for Arsenal to be fully into it again. I think it's more us than it is him and them, if I'm honest. But that's life. Big up to Melanie saying, afternoon, Bobby. Thank you to all the updates. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I know he's had a meltdown sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, Eze got me on the ropes Like literally, like I was because Eze was such a big like. I mean, first of all, he's one of my favorite non-Arsenal players.
Yeah,
Um, and when I look at the squad and see what we need as a player, he just fits the bill in terms of profile. And then when we, you, myself on the shows, Ali and so forth, Brenny, we covered like so much around Eze, and we pumped out so much of your information around
yeah,
Eze, with regards, the interest, the conversations, the player buy-in, all of that. And then all of a sudden, it was just like Arsenal, not us, Arsenal just froze. It just
yeah,
felt like Arsenal kind of just froze. And so it was just so frustrating for me. Like I've been pretty calm all summer, but I think for me, that was me just really with my fan hat on because I am a fan at the end of the day.
yeah,
And I was just so desperate for Eze to join. So when it looked as though he could be not arriving and the club that he could potentially be going to, I think that just, yeah, that definitely gave me a wobble for a couple of days. But here we are. So he's our new number 10. So happy
and we'll be
days.
seeing him on Sunday.
There we
So
go.
yeah, big
There
up
we
to
go.
John saying you didn't pop out and guess I can't keep mate. Get some rest, honestly. I'm in Manchester. Oh, enjoy your time in Manchester, Tamina.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to watch it on Sunday. Awesome. Two backers already asked. Other question people have asked about, or at least I've covered that. Anything on Bon Marty or any other midfielders for women? Yeah, it's getting a little bit tight. The window closes, I think it's the 6th or the 7th September for the women. I expect some developments first week of September. I know it sounds weird because obviously the window ends, but I think at the moment they're just kind of figuring out exactly how they're going to play it. A lot of transfers go in the last few days in the women's window, just like the men's do. It's pretty much the same. But yeah, it's madness at the moment for all women's transfers as well. But there's been some great signings, especially London City Lionesses have done an amazing job. Semenya would be ideal as Ghana aren't in AFCON. Are they not?
No, you know what? This is something else, man. I tell you, our Discord's brilliant. This is something else that was discussed because we've been discussing the whole Semenyo potential move that we might make, and somebody wasn't very keen because obviously, no disrespect to Afcon whatsoever. I love Afcon, I watch it, but obviously, with regards how it does impact the season,
Mm.
obviously, if you've got a player in Afcon, they could be gone for like X amount of games, particularly if their team ends up doing very well. Because I know Liverpool fans that are, sweating a little bit because they know that Egypt is likely to get quite far and Salah will be out of the team for potentially a significant amount of time. So someone mentioned about maybe they're not being so keen on him because of Afcon, and then somebody actually said, did Ghana even qualify? And then obviously we all went away and did a bit of research, but no, they didn't. Ghana didn't qualify, so Semenyo won't be going to the Afcon in 2026.
Oh, there you go. Positive news. Big up to Temi. Whether you live stream or not, minimum of 2 goals, Bobby. Well, yeah. Obviously, I'm doing the watch long at the weekend. Look, I did the Leeds game. We had 5 goals. Come on.
Yeah,
Wasn't the best performance in all fairness, but we got 5 goals. So if under 0.005 yeah, well, obviously we're playing Atletico, which I'm sure wasn't always going to happen once we were on Andrea. But hey ho, it's what it is. Can we get a stinky 1-0 win at Anfield? Obviously, we'll talk about that tomorrow, but I think we can do something as long as we're on it. Do we even have time for a left wing? Yeah, I'm not. I'm not too. Like I said, Monday morning is the only time I start panicking because a lot can happen in 72 hours. There's been a lot of twists and
yeah.
turns and transfers, and trust me, that those happened in hours, not days. So yeah, I'm not too worried at all.
Going into the weekend though, and obviously ahead of Monday, left winger will be a priority over backup striker, though, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, yeah, how do I say this? Look, if we just can't do it,
Mm,
and this is more to do with dominoes not falling totally how we want it
yeah.
to fall. If we were just to get Watkins
Mm,
and Hincapie, I don't think anyone's going to cry because the
No,
thing is with Watkins, he can play on the left.
he can play on the left. Yeah, I
Eze
mean
can play on the
Eze can
left.
play on the left. Yeah, Madueke can play on the left. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so we
yeah.
wouldn't cry. We're in a very, very good position
We
right
are.
now.
We are.
And even with Martinet and Trossard, who probably most of us are not that keen on, we've got other players that can play there now. So I'm not honestly not going to be bothered. Arsenal, look, we'd like to get the plan sorted. I think Ornstein said it, and he said it correctly. We don't want to wait around until
No,
January or next summer. We want to get everything we want to do now, and then worry about the outs or the little bits and bobs later on, because we're
the only
confident that we've got a big season coming up.
the only thing with Berta is like he's gonna make next summer pretty boring.
Oh yeah, guys, just
We
honestly
might not
book.
even bother doing any transfer shows next summer.
I'll be honest, all have a holiday. There'll
Literally,
be
because if we get a left wing and a backup striker, our squad is complete.
well,
Like there's
there's still one more thing that
what the
for
DM
Arsenal.
Bobby.
Well, no, it is. But at the end of the day, we need a DM of a certain age profile, which is
But we're
like
not gonna fill a show about our pursuit for a DM.
no, I know. Yeah, I might just do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. But you need to slow down, mate. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't slow down.
No,
Don't slow down.
there will look. Berta's already knows what's happening next summer. It's definitely not going to be like this summer. I can promise you that. But it's
Yeah,
still
no,
going to
100%.
have something going on because I know the plans for next summer. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Nice.
Zinni is a tough cause. Yes, 100%. There is ways around it. You can lower the transfer fee, which then covers his wages. There's many ways around things. This is the thing with Zinni. He's not said to Arsenal, I want to move. If he did, trust me, we'd find an easy way of getting him out the door. But he doesn't care, and that's what annoys me about him personally. Big up to Den. Hope you're well. Big up to James Finneran, who's reposted the stream. Thank you very much. I don't know what that means, if I'm all fair.
What's that?
When someone's reposted the stream, I
Oh,
have
it
no
just
idea what it
means that
means.
they've basically retweeted it on X.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
said, I'm not an ex person,
Well,
so
thank you.
I'm on
Whoever
I'm
did
on
that.
it, but I don't know what the hell goes on there. Booby. Right, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Adam. I know you've been around here a while. I know you know my name. Obviously, a typo. Any good news? Look, I'm not stressed about it right now. I'm obviously not going to be able to do a stream on Monday, obvious reasons. But don't worry about it until Monday morning. When you don't hear nothing, you kind of know what's going on. Big up to Dean saying evening, Bobby and G. Rodrigo taking that. Should I read into that? Yeah, it's pretty much dead, but we can bring it back to life if we needed to. But I don't see it happening personally right now. Evening to Michael. Evening to Swarrit. Big up to Dom. Thank you very much. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you very much. We've hit the 2,000 mark on YouTube as well. We've had a very good summer. So thank you everyone that has subscribed. Really do appreciate it. Tamina as well. She's in the house. It's all good. Big up to Chris. Marseille wanted Mainu and could not get him. So now they're after Zinni. Yeah, Mainu is one to watch out for. It's a very interesting situation. I personally would take him in heartbeat. Personally,
I
but
said
that's
I
me.
put. I don't often comment on rival players at all
Yeah,
because I'm not interested. But when the news broke that he'd potentially or confirmed that he'd expressed an interest to go out on loan, I was like, if that's allowed, which I mean, I'm not sure Man United are actually game for that, but if he is allowed to go out on loan, it's basically an absolute no-brainer
yeah,
for almost every single side in world football, in my opinion. Like it's just a no-brainer. He's a quality young player, and if you can get him on loan with an option, with an obligation, or even just a dry loan, I mean, just as an extra body.
yeah,
For some, there's a lot of teams in the Premier League, mid-table sides that he'd walk into their side, relegation sides who've just come up, and like I say, I'd take him. I'd take him tomorrow. So that is definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, without going into too much detail, I mean, and we're not even that bothered. We're actually quite enjoying it, but they're an absolute mess, Man United. Absolute
Uh,
mess.
well, I'll quickly go into them very quickly because a lot of people have got Man United mixed up this summer. They have got a huge budget themselves. They're just
Hmm.
struggling to get the players in because of their situation. Hence, no Europe and all that kind of stuff. So, but regarding Kobe, we've been interested in for about 18 months. So it wouldn't shock me if we did a cheeky loan bid
Yeah.
and pay fully his wages, which is
Hmm.
basically what Man United would want
Hmm.
if he was to go out on loan. Because at the end of the day, I think Man United would love to have him,
Hmm.
but at the moment he's not getting a
No,
chance, is he?
no.
Casemiro and Ugarte are the ones above him. I
Have there
think with
been
Arsenal,
have there been any have there been any like whispers that that's something we could potentially do?
well, he's not out of our list, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on
yeah.
our list, but he's not off it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I know Dylan has just spoke about this, and I've just quickly looked it up. So Hincapie is waiting for permission to travel.
Hmm.
So yeah, it should be any time, really.
Yeah.
It could happen
Yeah, I
whilst we're
reckon
there.
I
Who
reckon
knows?
yeah, I reckon late tonight or tomorrow morning or something like
But in
that.
my opinion, it's going to be done. So
Yeah,
hence why I've done what I've said in the stream name.
exactly.
Domino's not. I mean, you know what? I'm not a big fan of their pizza. I like their sides, but not their pizza. Um, I don't rule one out if I'm honest, but because Berta's a madman, honestly. Yeah, he's crazy. Big up to Mohammed. Any update on Madrid? I think I've covered that.
Yeah.
Is Hincapie structured? Yes, in a suitable way that allows for one more attacker. Yeah, it's not going to hurt. Like I said, when it comes to transfers this summer, our transfer budget is huge. We're not even. We can easily spend over 100 million still, even now after Eze.
Wow.
And in Hincapie, it's going to be the same as Kivior. So it's a
Yeah.
loan with an obligation.
I mean,
So
it's
it's
not even
literally a
costing us
swap.
anything at the moment.
No, but it also means
Oh, mate, Bertus is class, isn't he?
we've still got free loans available. So
Yeah.
there is a reason why I've said that. Just saying. I need Zinni gone. He wasn't well. Yeah, I agree, Jeremy. Bro, don't say just tell me who Arsenal are going for. Any other four because of Kai Havertz.
Yeah, we've kind of
So
covered that.
yeah, but I would say the Watkins situation isn't anything to do with Havertz. It's got nothing to do with that. You, as I said, we know what's happening in next summer, so we're planning for that now as
Mhm.
well as. So
Yeah.
yeah, I really won't worry too much. I think I've covered that. Zinni's the one that's 90%. The rest of them, personally, I'm quite happy with. Uh, Malt Marday, if that helps for you. Yeah, he's someone that we were interested in, but not for that price. I'll be honest. I think we were talking more like 35 million quid. He is a quality player. I just don't think Newcastle fans are going to be that patient with that amount of money spent on him, personally.
Yeah, that's the problem. And he's got big
But he is.
shoes to fill.
Oh yeah, but he's one of those. I know a lot of people hate on Sesko. Patience with Sesko and patience with Volt Marde as well,
Mm,
because honestly, they will come good.
yeah,
Big
I
up
was
to
gonna say
Gary.
Sesko got hooked the other night.
Yeah,
Like he played against obviously, well, Man United were awful anyway. He played against obviously Grimsby and they got knocked out. Big up Grimsby. And then, I mean, I watched snippets, but he wasn't. I mean, to be fair, he's not had a preseason at all.
no,
Like he's had
exactly.
literally zero preseason. And don't get me wrong, I was a little bit harsh on him in a couple of group chats and stuff like that. But that's only because I was kind of bouncing back from a lot of stick Gyökeres has got since joining Arsenal.
Yeah,
Before his brace against Leeds, they were saying all kinds of things. But yeah, I'm very much of the mold that any striker coming into any side needs time. And Sesko, with absolutely no preseason under his belt, going into that environment, which is Man United, he's going to need time. He's going to need time.
yeah,
But yeah, he was awful. And to be fair, Cunha and Buemo weren't much better. I mean, they both missed. Cunha missed the penalty that could have won it, and then Mbeumo missed a penalty that eventually lost it for them. So yeah, the free forward signings had an absolute mare.
Yeah, but you can't say that. Well, you say whatever you want about Sesko, but Cunha and Mbeumo, for all people that watch Premier League, we all know how good they are. So it's
Class, absolute
exactly.
class. Yeah,
So
I would have happily taken Mbeumo this summer. I mean, before the whole thing with Man United transpired and we signed Madueke, I would have been absolutely all over Madueke. You know, at the end of the day, if we had signed Cunha or we had signed Mbeumo, like I would not have been disappointed. Both really, really good Premier League players.
yeah, 100%. Big up to Chris. You'll join me tomorrow at 6:45. The Liverpool preview. So thank you, mate. I'll sort out the link for you. Could it be Watkins and a left winger? It could be. Yeah. Kuna Dom going for an interesting one. Semenyo or and Elise. Both, not just one. Yes, that's all going to blow everyone's mind. Everyone's going to be getting their little pads out and working out how the hell that works. I can only pump out what I know, so there you go.
The way you just answered that and just moved on was mad, you know, Bobby. I'm like, listen, slow down, pause. Let me process what you just said. You carry on.
Well, Semenyo is someone that we regard not just as a left winger. And look, you only have to look at him. He is a very good, strong striker as well. So not necessarily just the left winger. But obviously there's many moving parts at the moment, so we have to wait and see. Do you feel envious that we didn't make a bigger push for Isaac when we had the chance? No, we put a bid in that we felt was a good enough bid. Was turned down. We move on.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And look, everyone's saying, oh, we couldn't have spent that. I'll be honest, we could have spent 100 million on Isaac if that was the price, but it's not that price. So we move on. We need a left winger, not Watkins. I kind of covered this. Watkins can play. Look, I agree. We need an out-and-out left winger that can actually play there comfortably. But if we only signed Watkins and Hincapie, I still wouldn't be upset.
We've got options.
Yeah.
And it's something we can revisit. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Technically, Newcastle could do that for one season to bed in or Made, but not for more than one season. They could, but I'll be honest. At the moment, Liverpool are plotting their next bid. So
Isak's just going to make it almost impossible to stay, though, hasn't he? Like,
yeah,
it's got to that point now where, you know, it's so funny because I was having this conversation with a Liverpool fan, sorry to go off topic a little bit, and he said to me, because I said to him, look, I really think, you know, we should make a move for Semenyo. I think now where we get to this stage of this window, I think it's Semenyo. I think that's the player we're going to move for. That's the player I'd like us to move for. And he's like, oh, I just signed a contract. And I went, mate, Isak's got 3 years, but we are where we are.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point saying, "Oh, Semenyo won't move to Arsenal because he just signed a contract." When you've got Isak with still 3 years left on his deal, and he's just about to join Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like, these contracts now, really, they're almost just like, you know, just paperwork to kind of protect the selling club in terms of like, you know, kind of asking price and valuation and stuff like that. But they mean very little. I mean, Cunha signed a deal in January, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he signed a deal in January and then he was gone in whatever, in May or June or whenever it was. So yeah, these contracts mean nothing nowadays.
As I said, yeah, I mean, absolutely skilly squat anymore. It's more to do with protecting the club or protecting the player. It's one of those. Definitely nothing to do with, oh, you're going to stay here for 5 more years. No, you're not. I've covered the Rodrigo one. Watkins, and Semenyo and Ulise. I'm going to go no with all 3. I'll be honest. 2 of the 3, yes, not all 3.
That's a yeah. Even for Berta, that's a tall order. Jeez.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think out of all of them, Elise is going to be the hardest one to do. Mainly because Munich just cannot sign anybody. Because I think a lot of people forgot Munich were the ones that were meant to be getting involved in Made, and he's now got to Newcastle. That was like the easiest thing to do. When you sign in a German player to the biggest German team, it is the easiest thing to do. They've also messed that up. So
there was also a little bit of an update while we're on air.
Yeah.
of Villarreal signed the Georgian striker that Villa were in for, though. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, what a shame. It's all right. Villa have got other people that they were interested in. It's fine. So it's not a problem.
That was so sarcastic,
I
Bobby.
know, mate. I'm so tired.
Oh
Watkins has
dear.
given Arsenal his word he would wait until the last minute. If we don't look like tricking, he'd go elsewhere. I've always said that he would be a final 48-hour storyline. That is exactly how it's going to play out.
Mm.
Are we looking at another striker this window or for the future? Both, actually. But for this window, it's going to be one or the other. It's not going to be a striker for immediately now and one for the future. It will be one or the other. Then I think that will move on to next summer. Like I said, Berta's not planned just for this summer; he's planned for next summer as well. So, is the young centre forward of FIFA? I hope next summer he's still where he is because that is the person I would like. Arsenal have been keen on him, and his fee is like 14 million quid. Is dirt cheap, but I think for that amount, it's worth a punt because I've seen him. He's a very quality young striker. He's tall, strong, type of players that we like. So I hope he stays where he is so that we can nab him next summer personally. Alvarez Uno. Alvarez Uno. Trying to think who you're talking about here, Tony.
I think he's saying Alvarez,
What? Atletico.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know if he's saying Uno or
Oh,
Um,
okay.
as in, yeah, that's
I
the
say,
only thing I can think of
I
it.
say if people use shorthand or slang words, I have no. I'm too
Yeah.
autistic. I will literally say what you better. I'm like, okay, is this person?
Yeah.
But no, Alvarez. No, there is. I don't know. There's some whisperings that he was unhappy, but I've not heard any of that. And trust me, Berta would know. Berta would have already pounced on it by now. Got Munich in the Champions League. Lovely. It's possible. Elise is more than a right winger. I honestly don't understand where people have just got. He's predominantly a right winger. He's versatile.
Hmm.
If people don't like the fact that he could play on the left, that's your guy problems, not my problems. I'll be honest. But he's someone that don't rule out. What was the blacked out of the two? There's a whole reason why they're blacked out. I'm not allowed to release their names or their faces, so just watch out. Hincapie will happen, and it's either one or two others on top of that. Will we go after Rodrigo for next January summer window? No, I think this was his opportunity. If not, there's other players that we are very, very keen on as well. Fofana is someone that still don't rule out. Maybe not necessarily this window. The price tag is extremely low. He's not 100% staying, so I've been told from Leon. But I would have zero issue if we chose to go down the route of Semenyo and Fofana. I'd have no issues with that at all because I think Fofana is a talented young player, and he's young. So I would not expect him to come into our team and go, "Oh, look at him." I'd expect him to, take some time. 30 million quid is nothing, unfortunately, in the market nowadays.
So what would you put on? What would you put on for final percentage then of Arsenal potentially moving for him between now and Monday? Because we know Rodrigo slipped right down.
I'd say probably 5%, and that's not just
Okay.
us. It's more to do with Leon as well. They are open to a move, but they would also need time to replace him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
See,
don't rule it out.
this is what scares me. Not so much about a potential move for Watkins or a backup striker, but this
Yeah,
is what scares me a little bit about the left winger pursuit.
yeah,
Is an Elise, not so much a Rodrigo because Real Madrid have already shown that they don't really need him.
yep,
But like an Elise and even a Semenyo, like Semenyo is huge for Bournemouth in
yeah,
terms of like, I mean, right now, I mean, I know they've got Cliver, who I think's out the team for over an injury or whatever, but Semenyo is literally Bournemouth's attack. So
Yeah.
the thing that scares me is that if we make a move for Semenyo, I know every player has a price and nobody is ever untouchable, but the closer we get to that Monday deadline, surely clubs will just shut up shop for the window and say, actually, we don't have time to find a replacement. So while we'd love to take your money, it's a no for now.
This is why I've said Monday morning is the
Okay.
deadline for me,
Okay.
because that
Makes sense.
the next 48 hours, so that's Saturday and Sunday, is enough time to get all the moving parts that you need
Okay.
ready for deadline day, where there will be a madness, I can promise you. For people that haven't enjoyed many windows deadline day days, I expect Monday to be a very good one, quite entertaining. And I know it finishes at 7 as well, so which is nice for everybody involved. It's not a late night. I know you're on about Maximilian Bayer. He is someone that we do like a lot. He's done well where he's at now. Yeah, I definitely don't rule him out. Look, the German market is very good with German strikers at the moment. And that's not me being German biased, but there are some quality young German strikers out there. Hincapie, to be honest, Ben Jacobs has done it well. He's literally waiting for the green light to fly over to the UK. So, unfortunately, I think I've kind of covered it enough as I can. It's more to do with Munich just having a nightmare of a window. And there is definitely something behind the scenes that is making players not want to go there and players maybe want to leave.
Want to look out. And look, you said it's out of all the left wingers or winger signings, you said it's probably the least likely of all of them.
Yeah.
But he is a, you know what I mean? At the end of the, I mean, is it you know what I mean? Like I thought about it a lot since we kind of started discussing in the Discord. And I mean, it'd be more of a surprise if you weren't interested in him, to be honest, because
Yeah.
he's a quality player. We're
And
not
who
saying we're going to sign him, but what we're saying is that he's a player of interest. Like he's a player that Arsenal, potentially might make a move for. I mean, why wouldn't we? He's class.
and who have we just signed?
Exactly. Practically
who,
blood brothers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And
Do you know
trust
what I
me,
mean? So
their friendship is deep, and I mean deep. So yeah,
and they talked week in week out for Palace.
Yeah,
like, literally.
Are we going to test the waters? It wouldn't shock me, Zelda. And wouldn't have anything to do with Norgard is already injured. There's an opportunity there to get Kobe Manu, which technically would be a next summer project. But if it's a loan, it doesn't really hurt us. But obviously, we need to be careful that we don't use too many loans. We've got 2 in the Premier League. We can use 2 in Europe as well.
I want to get your opinion on something quick, Bobby.
Yes, mate.
There's an Eduardo Burgos. I think he's a Brazilian journalist.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
So there's a lot of things swirling around on the timeline about Martinelli staying at Arsenal. What's your thoughts on Martinelli between now and Monday?
Watch out for a loan with an option to buy.
Okay.
Yeah. Look,
interesting.
The thing is, and it unfortunately bounces into Zinni's area of problem, is his wage. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's not tiny.
Yeah, similar problem.
And
280, isn't it?
180. Where you got 280 from?
Sorry. No, it's the 180. Sorry.
That's Havertz's wage, 280.
Yeah.
But
180 is still massive, though, isn't it?
It's massive for him. Look, I think Edu, what was his name? Burgos, or whatever his name is. Arsenal have notified Martinelli exactly the situation. So again, there is going to be options for him to go. I do expect him to have options in the Premier League to go to. It's up to him, but I think it would help us a lot if he buggers off as well. So it is what it is. Look, don't forget what I said about Tuesday's show. This could either end up like Lost, like The Walking Dead, or Big Bang.
You did say it. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily going to be our fault. It's going to be other reasons behind why we just didn't get what we wanted to do. Because if you can't get rid of certain players, you're doomed. And I know Arteta said it. We don't want to bloat it. We don't want to bloat his squad, but we don't also want to be paying absolutely stupid wages on loads of players because it does hurt us financially. And yeah, it is what it is. What's the outlook? I think I've covered that as well, Dylan, as much as I can on those two. I've just seen the next person's comment. Anyway, how are people saying to Menu when he just suddenly it's possible next summer? Well, no, like I've said, new contracts mean absolutely skilly squat. Literally, G used a perfect example. Cunha. And you know what? Cunha's agreement to that new contract was that he will move in the summer.
Exactly.
So
that was literally the reason why he put pen to paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll cover it. Has Premier League so Sterling is back? No, definitely not. No. You said okay, proceedings would heat up by today. Well, Hincapie should be here. We go at any time. It's just mad how long things take. Is the heat still in the forecast? Yeah. Like I said, and look, I'll be doing streams over the weekend, so you can ask me questions whilst I do. Maybe not necessarily the preview because the preview kind of needs to follow its own little script. But the watch along, if you're around, ask me questions whilst I watch probably what will be a very boring match due to the fact I'm doing the watch along. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions on Sunday. G's face when you said Trossard.
Oh, mate, yeah. I just needed time to process it, man. It caught me off guard.
But yeah, it's like I said, Trossard could still leave, and he's Gunner Blog announced that he'd already agreed a new contract.
That's an interesting question because that's what worries me, and I know you've kind of answered that in the past. Because I remember when you answered that previously, you kind of said, "Well, we could move other parts, play other players in different areas, and it could still like, for example, if we bought Semenyo, he could potentially be a striker. It would mean that those two could stay on the left, and then we get Zinni off the books and Vieira off the books. But it is, I mean, at this point now, as we've moved on from Tuesday, that is an interesting question. Like, is that still a possibility?
Yeah, it's still a possibility because what we would probably do is drop one of the other targets that we were possibly going to do by then putting Trossard somewhere else within the squad. Because Trossard, don't forget, he's not a left winger. He's a versatile forward. Everyone forgets this.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you I've seen him more at Brighton on the right and the down the middle than I've ever seen him on the left, if I can remember at Brighton. So he's not a left winger. He's a versatile forward. So yes, look, if it was Semenyo, obviously there is not going to be huge wage demand.
Yeah, so that's another thing as well.
It's a perfect
opportunity.
Appealing. Big up to Walk with Wyatt. Anything on Endrick? Like I said very early in the show, we're still talking to him. I don't know what over. I'll be honest. I don't know what we're talking to him about, but we're talking to him. It's possible. I don't see it though, because Endrick is Real Madrid's like special thing, isn't it? I don't get it. I'll be honest. So I don't see it personally. But we're still talking to him. I don't know what over though. Openda. Oh, crikey. Isn't he? As far as I was aware, Openda's meant to be moving elsewhere. I don't know where he's going.
Hasn't he moved?
That's what I thought, because I'm sure I've seen
Openda signed for somebody. Because one Openda was he at Leipzig?
Yeah, Openda. I'm pretty sure he's gone, isn't he? Or is he not gone yet?
What is he? I don't think he has. Openda. I think he's still. No, he's still playing for. I just looked at him on transfer market. He's still down as a Leipzig, but I could have sworn he was close to leaving.
I thought he was.
I actually thought he left, but he's still there.
To me, ask about Trossard and Martin. I didn't. No. Don't worry, Dylan. Honestly, I'll be honest. If you've asked the same questions, I'll be honest. I forget half the questions myself. Anything on Anthony Gordon? That went real quiet. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Newcastle, yeah, I'm not having a great window themselves. Obviously, they've just got Marde, but in my opinion, they've overpaid. But that's just me. But yeah, yes, the Dutch Grand Prix is this weekend. Hopefully, no Verstappen win. That would cheer me up. Hi guys, now Calvert's is out. Do you think we should sign another striker? That made no difference to Arsenal. I'll be honest. Like I said, we're planning not just for this summer, but next summer as well. So that hasn't had any benefit or changed any opinion at Arsenal whatsoever. It's just the fans' opinion or whatever's been pumped out by big journos that Arsenal's opinion has changed. No, it hasn't changed whatsoever. Big up to Ali that's also reposted the stream. You mentioned you have a date for Havertz's return. Can you reveal? That will be tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's November time, which is a substantial amount of time away. But yeah, I'll cover that tomorrow. If Arsenal only get a left winger, do they internally count on Marino? You know what? I forget Marino. He's an Arsenal player.
Yeah, it's mad.
Well, Havertz is out. Tough to see Gyökeres playing every game up top. We don't want him playing every game up top, especially against like Port Vale and whatever. We're trying. We're doing everything possible. I'm not worried right now. Like I said, that my worry will only start Monday morning. But right now, we're doing everything we possibly can. But yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know where Marino fits into the squad. I'll be honest. But that's for a different show, I suppose. Does the winger who has Premier experience also? I'm not going to be tricked into other questions. Well, if we're going to still come this summer, please. We're doing our best, Jeremy. Is Martin attracting a lot of interest? He's got a lot of interest, but it's the financial package you have to give to him. So that's the tricky part.
We were saying the other day that it's weren't we, that it's £100 million deal. Like, if you're going to go for a permanent transfer, even if you're paying like 60 mil, by the time you incorporate his wages, you're talking on average about 10 mil a year. So if you're signing him over a 4-year deal, it's about 100 mil all in. You know, so it's a big outlay for a player who is really struggling for confidence and form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I see what Chris is doing here. One person I don't expect to see in the comments tonight is Colm. Now, for people that don't know Colm very well, he's from Doncaster. He hates majority of Yorkshire. So this actual defeat would have hurt him really, really badly. So please, if you do bump across Colm, make sure he's okay, because that defeat would have hurt him for more reasons than just Man United being defeated. I'm guessing Mano is in white. Correct. I'm glad Tubaka listens to the system very well. Regard to injuries, are we being more cautious this season? We're trying to build a very good squad. We want preferably 26 players that we can rely on. Voltmardo is best replacement they could have got for Izaki, similar to TK, and makes players better. Will the left winger still come in? I'm nervous. I'm not nervous yet. Can we get permission to build a statue for Berta? He's done a very good job.
If he gets Zinchenko off the books and he signs a left winger, I think I might actually start up a petition. I think I might. I mean, Arsenal fans out there started up a petition to not sign Madueke, so why not start a petition to get Berta a statue? Why not?
This is the thing that, for some reason, gets distorted into the press. I've heard it and I've seen it, and it's absolute codswallop. There's a lot of people saying this is Arteta's appointment. No, it's not. Arteta does not have nothing to do with these appointments.
No, it's not. I actually said this in the Discord earlier because I don't know how much you pay attention or you follow it, because it's a lot.
Not at the moment. Yeah, not at the moment. I will. I can't wait to get in there.
Yeah, I said, look, we're heaping a lot of praise on Berta. We're heaping a lot of praise on, certain other individuals. But I actually said, you know what? Hats off to the Cronkies. Hats off to the ownership. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we throw shade at them, and rightly so, certain times, certain previous years, and so forth, and whatever. I mean, we could do a whole stream on it in terms of the context, but we're quick to throw shade on them. When we were about to miss out on Eze, or when we didn't, go in for Isak, but 8 signings down, almost 300 million pound, whatever spent over the course of those contracts or whatever. And at the end of the day, they're the ones who appointed Berta. So if
Yes.
you actually look at this, I actually put in a Discord. I mean, it didn't get many thumbs up or support, which I thought was quite telling. But I actually said in the Discord, like, big up the Cronkies, because this is a Stan and Josh. I mean, more so probably Josh.
Yeah.
But this is a Josh Cronkite appointment. Berta is
Correct.
his appointment, and for all the amazing stuff that Berta's done, Josh signs it off.
Yeah.
In terms of like all these deals. So all these deals we've got through the door, and the deals we plan to get through the door. Like, we can't all of a sudden now go mute when everything's going our way. We're signing the players we want to sign. We're hailing the work of Berta, but then all of a sudden we're just gonna conveniently ignore the fact that actually the Cronkays have had a major part to play in why this is happening at this present moment. Yes,
Yeah.
I think big them up, man. We've criticized them enough, and like I say, sometimes rightly so. But I think this summer they've got it absolutely spot on with the appointment of Berta, and actually giving him the autonomy to get the business done that he's done.
Well said. Well done. Yeah, because the money again is down to the ownership.
Yeah,
They've
credit where
managed to make
credit's due, man.
sure that there is one hell of a budget available,
Yeah,
which
credit
doesn't
where
hurt
credit's
us.
due.
Yeah. Hincapie, well, no, definitely not in my opinion. Hincapie will not be the last signing, in my opinion. There'll be at least one more. Who knows, another one. Yes. Big up to Dermot. Expect one more, maybe two, but definitely one more, in my opinion, Dermot. I did tell you, but have a decent end. Big up to Geeks. Hope everyone is healthy and happy. Thank you, mate. Big up to Stuart. Evening, Owens. I was noted Martinez staying at this afternoon presser. This just lip service. Of course it is. You don't want
Yeah,
to put out there that someone's definitely going, because that
exactly.
hurts your negotiating tactic. Will he
Yeah,
still be here Tuesday? He could be. I don't know.
could be. Yeah, yeah.
But this is the thing now. We don't know what could happen in the last few days. Elise and Semenyo, Cat Mem, those in. Okay, I have no idea. Don't forget, Jokeres can also play left wing. Definitely. Lookman, any chance? Lookman will go somewhere. It's going to be interesting where he goes now.
I think Spurs might take a cheeky punt on him again, as well.
I wouldn't understand it with they've now got Simmons, because for me,
Yeah, but
Simmons and Lookman are fairly similar profiles.
could you not see Simmons playing in the Madison role and then Lookman out left with Kudos on the right?
Maybe,
I mean, it's pretty
maybe.
tasty.
Look, and I don't know if Dermot's still watching, still listening, but yeah, keep an eye out for Lookman. But Lookman, in my opinion, will come to the Premier League. I just don't know where he's going to go. I don't see him going Europe now.
Yeah.
For Elise, Semenyo, Watkins, and
Oh,
Carpe, Sister
jeez.
Badger. Wissa Isaac seem to have curtains closed in their rooms until they get their moves. Kwanzaa
Yeah.
signed a new contract. Now he's gone. Thank you very much, Chris.
Exactly. Exactly.
Big up G, and Bobby G knows where we stand. I've told him what I know. Unfortunately, what I know is Hincapie will be our last signing, says G Gunnerman. Bobby, I believe if we had Berta in 2014, he would have ended up with Messi, Neymar, and CR7. Yeah, I can imagine what kind of things he would have done if we had him over 10 years. Yeah. We should ask Bayon for Elise and give them Martinet for a discount just to take the piss. Percentages for Watkins, Elise, Semenyo. I'm not going to do that to back.
Oh,
I'm not.
Bobby.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
There's a reason why he's not doing it, people. Just sometimes just read between the lines. There's a reason why he's not doing it.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, it's the case that any transfer out we don't do this summer, we'll definitely do the transfer out next summer. Well, don't rule out January window as well. So, in my opinion, look, Jesus is doing an incredible job getting back, and he is bulked up somewhat. And he could be a part for us, but I don't see it personally. Berta, I know full well wants him out the door, mainly for wages reasons, because he's on a huge contract. He's not going to be an
He's
integral
not going to be
part
a
of our
starter.
squad.
Yeah, he's not going to be a starter. So
And with
250 is
that wage,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
he's going to be
crazy.
going.
Absolute crazy.
As a left wing, Elise Cam, Two-backer gets it. With this much spending, can we still spend in January or next year? And could we still sign another 4 before the deadline or anyone? Bobby, big up. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, well, like I said, we've got over 150. Well, yeah, it's around 150. Is it 150? It's probably about between 100 and 150 million we've still got left to spend that we can
I actually
spend
saw it
outright.
quoted online. Somebody, I can't remember who posted it, but somebody posted, it was quite detailed. I actually wanted to screen save it and show it to you. But I think they had it at around 134.
Yeah,
million.
that's yeah, like I said, it's
Yeah,
between
it's
100
very
and 150.
specific, which is why it caught my eye, because I was like, right, okay,
Yeah,
must have really,
yeah,
really.
because I know everyone's transfer budget and what they've still got, so it's very hard to remember exactly every single club. But I know it's definitely over 100, and it's not more than 150. But yeah, so it's probably about 134. That would probably make sense. I saw snippets of the menu. He's not that bad. He does need confidence boost, if I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Liao through the back door. Honestly, right now with some players, I just wouldn't rule out anything. No one's had the door firmly shut. Not even Rodrigo's firmly shut. I think it's more to do with other details about certain players and stuff. That doesn't help me tonight whilst on Discord till 1:30 talking to Dom. Elise Ezen Saka, is Odegaard about to be pushed out? No. 0% says Jesus, Z Gunner man. I'll say again, Hincapie will be the last signing. That's fair. That's fair. Look, could it be that be the last signing? It could be. It could be, but Arsenal are not trying to just sign Hincapie and that's it. This is the thing. I never say anything's 100% until it's actually done. So I'm always 99.9 because a lot of things can mess up a transfer, not just us. Trying to make me excited about deadline day. I would, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be excited about deadline day personally. Elise would be an elite signing. Definitely agree. Which players can we sign before the end of the window in Jan? Can you do percentage chance? Bliminick. Jeez, honestly, the amount of players that we have interest in and we're negotiating with right now is extensive. It's not like a couple. There is an extensive amount of talking at the moment. Benjamin Tesco. Martin Staines. Well, look, at the moment, obviously, he's still an Arsenal shirt. He's still being paid by us. But don't rule out a possibility that he may go elsewhere. And I will say, I think it will be a loan with an option or an obligation. Personally, I think it will be an option. So I don't think anyone would really want to guarantee that they're going to pay that price for Martinelli. No offense, Martinelli. I do love you. You know I do. But yeah, for me, it's more likely to be a loan with an option now. Already heard this to Villa. Will we have to sell any of the big names like Gabby, Zaliba, Martinelli, Odegaard, etc.? There will be, in my opinion, at least. I'm going to put my neck on the line. I'll say 2 big outs next summer. And by when I say big, they're not important to us, but they're going to be big names that Arsenal fans like. So, yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird one because they're not big names. But for me, they're big names because we've seen them in an Arsenal shirt for an extensive amount of time.
It's just the evolution of a club, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think when people say big names, people think like Saka, Rice, but I would probably be more inclined to think like Havertz, White, for example. Big names, well liked, but not necessarily your bread and butter your bread and butter starters next summer. So
exactly right, guys. I'm gonna have to start going through these just for looking for questions now.
To wrap it up.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I need to crack on because otherwise transfers will not happen. Literally. None are leaving, says G Gunner Man. How do you feel about the stuff? Maybe the hand of Arsenal. Do you think working the transfer department? Oh well, yeah. That's for a different off the stream talk,
What's that?
Ryan. Ryan's asking that this. I will, if you're in the Discord, you can private message me and I'll answer what I can. Is Yildiz from Juventus still on the card? Yildiz becoming less likely, but in my opinion, and I've said this throughout the whole summer, next summer is the time I think he'll move. Are you thinking of Okafor from AC Milan? He left for Leeds. No, I wasn't thinking of Okafor. I love Okafor, so I'm going to follow his career anyway because I just enjoy watching him
Yeah, I
play.
want to keep an eye on him as well at Leeds.
Do you expect that when it comes in? Gakpo. Gakpo's an interesting one. Not necessarily for us, but just to move.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings, and there are definitely people talking. And I don't understand why. Maybe that's how they're going to get Ekatike, and if they do eventually get Isaac, how they both get him in the team. Maybe Gakpo is the one that gets chopped.
Well, I said that to my Liverpool fan. I said, you move Ekatike out left and play Isak in the middle, or Isak left, Ekatike in the middle. But I think the one who will get sacrificed is Gakpo.
Yeah,
I literally had that conversation today in an X group chat.
It doesn't surprise me, mate.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. Michael, that conversation will happen. Oh, there is a date. It's later in the year.
That better be a priority.
Yeah, because basically what there will be, there will be a conversation, very much like what I'm going to do on stream early September, is where they talk about what went wrong within the transfer window. And look, things have gone wrong. This has not been the perfect window for Arsenal as a business point of view. Obviously for fans, loving it, but from a business point of view, it has not gone according to plan. And I have mentioned it a few times on the stream that Arsenal really need to look at how we are not a club that we can sell our players as easy as other clubs do. That is something we need to look at. And I'll be honest, Andrea is a bit concerned about that himself, because it's like, how do I get these players out the blooming door? It's different with bigger players. Like, I guarantee if we was to, please be careful when you listen to this, because I'm not saying this is happening, but if we were to say, right, Saka's up for sale, there's going to be multiple clubs interested, and they will pay whatever we ask. But when it comes to what I don't like calling it deadwood, but they technically are, we just can never get rid of them, unlike other clubs who literally sell your youth, who you've never really seen and played unless they're playing the League Cup. They sell them with
good money.
Exactly, for
because
great money.
The cliche statement or like kind of phrase is, one man's garbage is another man's treasure, isn't it? So even though they're not wanted by us, they should be quite sought after for other clubs. But for some reason, our garbage is just garbage. Nobody wants it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean to call them garbage. It's just a phrase.
No,
it's just kind of a kind of concept that I'm using. But yeah, it does amaze me how we seem to struggle to get anything. Like, somebody was saying to me how they're quite disappointed with the Kivior fee, and I said, you know what? I said, I get it because of what he means to us and the role he played last season. But the way I look at the Kivior deal is, have we made profit? Yes. And also we've got a sell-on clause. So I think the Kivior deal is a move in the right direction. Would I have preferred if we'd got like 40 million euros straight? Yeah, obviously, I would have liked maybe a higher fee. But I think the move Kivior is more kind of player pushing out as well. And then obviously the clubs that you're selling to can only go so far in terms of like their budgets. But I think the Kivior sell is a move in the right direction. I don't think it's eye-opening in terms of like a fabulous bit of outgoing business, but I think it's progress in that we're getting more than what we paid for him. We've even got a potential of earning more in the future, and I think it's definitely a move in the right direction.
Yeah, 100%. Surprise Palace. Palace have tried, but Kivior does not want to stay in the Premier League at all. I think what it is there's a couple of things actually. It's to do with the fans. The fans have surprised him. Now, I'm not talking about as in Arsenal fans have disappointed him, because they haven't, but there is a lot of critical things that happen in our press, in our social media, that has surprised him. He doesn't want to be around that kind of thing. So he does want to go to Europe. Obviously, he's going to go to Porto, which lovely. Not my Portuguese club, but hey ho. But look, I wish him all the best. He's done us great service. I love him personally. I think he's a great defender. But Hincapie gives us that extra, which is what I've always looking for. Hato, I wanted Hato, and I'll be honest, Hincapie is literally Hato, just Ecuadorian. So I have no issues with it whatsoever. Big up to Rich Mintz. Sorry, I like this comment, so I did want to put it up. I do try and answer everybody's comment as much as possible. Obviously, when we get to the end, I do have to kind of
it's almost impossible.
But yeah, it's just the way I've always said this, and G and Ali always know this about me. Everyone is just as important as everybody else. You're just names on YouTube's, and as far as I'm concerned, you all exist to me. You've spent the time to type in a message. I want to put it up. Obviously, now I'm going to have to kind of skip over this. I do apologise. I don't like doing it, but we do need to wrap it up. Dean, no. it's the most simple way of me answering this question. No, Tuesday will not be a day I will be streaming. Because it's international break, I will try to do one probably Saturday. I don't guarantee me on that. It will be over the weekend, but I'm going to try and pencil in Saturday. But if there's a football game that I'd rather do as a watch long, because trust me, I like watching just football sometimes, not stressing about other things. But I will be doing a in-depth recap of where it went wrong, where it went right, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, next weekend I will do something. It's possible. Don't rule it out. Like I said, from what I've known, that's fair enough. Look, there's no reason. I'm not one of those people that go, you're wrong. It's a possibility that is the only thing that happens. But we are trying to get more done. Now, obviously, everyone has their own different contacts. That's absolutely fine. Some people will say something different because they have only heard certain information. Because Berta currently is spinning multiple plates. He's hoping to get more than just Hincapie in. Big up to Rich, though. Look one on the left. What about Fafana? I've covered some Fafana. Everyone's, even if Evans, we're still in party mode till Monday. Seeing crazy names in the comments. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much, Tim. Appreciate that. Not percentage on the left is a big clue to me. That will definitely come in. Big up to Israel. Bloody hell, Paul getting ball sack. It's very likely, yes. Neil saying, see you in the Discord. Yes. People, I hope you've been reading the message on the side of both of us. If you want to join our Discord, message myself or G, and we will get you in there. I don't know how many people are in there, but as far as
we've got over 100 now.
Yeah, madness.
And it's working a lot better than WhatsApp. So yeah, if you do want to get in a Discord, just pop me a DM on X and I'll sort it out from there.
Yeah, so I'm just reading some things saying, yeah, shush. Look, Rodrigo one has surprised not just me, but everybody that knew about it. This was something that we did expect to happen in the final week. I always said it would be the final week. But something has occurred. There are other things that I can't talk about. It's not dead. Like I said, someone asked if is it dead in the water. There is a good chance that we can bring it back to life if something happened. Now, in my opinion, this will be to do with wages, not necessarily the fee that Real Madrid have asked. May want to budge a little bit on it, maybe. But the wage is something that we're not comfortable with. He's not budged from that at all. I don't understand why he thinks he's all that, because I don't get it. Didn't a lot of journalists say Eze was the last sizing? Yes, well, there you go, Adam. This is why when I get people like this coming up and saying like that, it's a case of I'm pretty sure the people that you listen to also said Eze was signing for Tottenham.
Yeah, Eze was only worth 40 million pounds.
Yeah.
You know, Eze wasn't being signed because Nwaneri signed his contract. Look, if you don't like what you hear, then just don't bloody listen. You know what I
Well,
mean? But you're the one sitting sitting here right wasting your time writing an offensive comment. Nobody's losing any sleep, mate. So just get lost.
look, transfer windows, and everyone that knows anything about transfer windows, they are the most fluid thing. They're more fluid than the ocean, mate. Things can change in a heartbeat. Was I getting slightly worried about Eze? From everything I knew behind the scenes, no. But when you look at it
Yeah,
on social media, geez, you go,
yeah,
oh my god, what? Because I was starting to doubt, like, this is what I've been told. This is,
yeah.
everyone's been
Hundred
telling me this.
percent,
But then I'm looking at this, I'm
100%,
going, what the hell is this? But
100%.
Tottenham got close, just didn't get the cigar.
Just didn't close enough. Yeah.
But that's the thing. But that is transfer windows. They are mental. But yeah, that is the last of the comments, guys. We've done an hour and a half. Like I said, there's going to be no more transfer streams. If you want to ask me questions on Sunday, by all means, try. I know I don't know what's going to break in the news over the next 24 hours. If anything massive breaks, feel free to ask me. But I do want to try and do the Liverpool preview as a preview because I do like keeping them to script. And I'm being joined by Chris as well. And I think Brenny, I can't remember if Brenny said he was a free or not. I'll message him. But yeah, so Liverpool preview will be for tomorrow night. Sunday, whilst I'm doing the watch along, feel free to ask whatever you want because trust me, you'll be keeping me entertained because normally when I do an Arsenal watch along, it is boring. And we end up talking about food and God knows what else. So please do message me on Sunday. Other than that, I will then do a stream next weekend. I can't promise you what day. It'll either be Friday or Saturday. It depends what games are on. Because I might want to just do a watch along of something. But yeah, I will do a transfer rating, transfer breakdown, what went wrong, what went right, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. G, thank you very much as always.
No
Where can
problem,
they
man.
find you, my friend?
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure to come on here with you, Bobby. So yeah, but yeah, you can find me on X. That's where I predominantly do all my interacting, posting, etc., etc. So yeah, G Talks Arsenal on X. Drop me a DM, follow me, post a comment, we'll interact. If you are interested in joining the Discord, then please do find me on X, G Talks Arsenal. I've just got a GTA, white writing, black background, pretty simple to pinpoint. Drop me a DM, I'll send you an invite. Just pre-warning though, obviously there's myself, and we do, Bobby obviously doesn't spend a lot of time in there, but he keeps an eye on it. But we do have a team of admins as well. We are a very peaceful, very friendly community. So we don't mind debate, we don't mind this discussion, but we do have rules. So please, 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 if you do DM me and you want to get an invite, make sure when you come, we will welcome you with open arms. But there will be rules, and if you don't follow those rules, we won't have anybody there that's going to, should I say, ruin the community that we're building. But yeah, drop me a DM and we can go from there.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, obviously when the window's closed, I'll have more time. So
Yeah,
you
it'd
will
be
see
nice.
then
Yeah, it'd be
see
nice to
me.
see you in there a little bit more.
I do update a little bit, but obviously
Yeah,
the window takes over my life a bit. So
yeah. We understand, Bobby. We understand.
you both and Berta's done amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've explained everything. You'll see me next time. So guys, I'm out of here. Speak to you all later. Thank you ever so much for watching. Big up to the
Easy.
5,000 currently watching. So thank you very much. Speak
Amazing.
to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.